Fresh training footage of Teofimo Lopez just hit social media, and the boxing community is going absolutely wild. This isn't the same showboat fighter we've seen before. What's unfolding in these clips is something more focused, more dangerous, and honestly, more terrifying in its intensity. His movement patterns, his breathing rhythm, even how he commits to every single strike, it all screams of a fighter with tunnel vision on one goal. The clips showing Lopez demolishing his core and conditioning work have everyone talking. Each rotation, each explosive movement, each heavy bag slam carries this sense of deliberate intent, zero flash, zero theatrics. This is pure dedication to the craft.
You know, he loved the sport. You know, he's a crafty fighter, very, very intelligent in the ring. He loves to have fun when he trains, but at the same time,
Lopez is locked in. This isn't preparation for just another payday. This is a complete reinvention of who he is as a fighter. But while fans are losing their minds over his physical changes, what's really got insiders shook is the whispers coming from his inner circle. Because word on the street is that Teofimo isn't just getting ready to face Shakur Stevenson, he's getting ready to crack the code on one of boxing's most elusive puzzles.
Add some flips in it.
What's happening in this training camp goes way beyond working harder. Lopez is rebuilding himself from the ground up, session by session, into something completely different. Sure, Teofimo has always been a freak athlete, but this iteration looks like it was carved out of pure willpower. Every single clip from his preparation screams transformation. Those flashy, Instagram-ready workouts have been replaced by savage, no-nonsense sessions designed purely for devastating impact. The cameras catch him powering through endless core sequences, holding planks until his body screams, explosive rotational drills, medicine ball work that sounds like thunder rolling through the facility. This isn't about looking impressive. This is about becoming unstoppable.
that's going right here at the boxing headquarters. And this is a hub for fighters. You already know. So, we're gonna see what work you're gonna get done today.
Each movement is specifically designed to give him that whip-crack power in his shots and that championship round explosion he's going to need when facing a pure technician like Shakur Stevenson. His strength coach Rob, the mastermind behind this metamorphosis, broke it down perfectly. He believes Teofimo possesses offensive explosiveness and definitely holds the athletic advantage over Shakur. This advantage is the foundation. Everything else is built on converting raw athleticism into championship endurance and transforming speed into tactical brilliance.
Teo is offensively explosive, and he definitely has the athleticism edge over Shakur. Now, I think Shakur's defense is high caliber, and his IQ is also high caliber. So it's a really good matchup.
Rob breaks down their approach as focusing on complete body synchronization and energy management, making sure Lopez doesn't gas out while trying to solve Shakur's defensive riddles around the ring. However, as mind-blowing as these physical improvements look, everyone in that gym understands the real change goes much deeper than visible muscle and sweat, because this fight isn't just about physicality, it's about mental warfare. The conditioning is just what you can see. The real revolution is taking place between Lopez's ears. Throughout Teofimo Lopez's career, his toughest opponent has never been across the ring. It's been his own thoughts. Years of taking heat for inconsistency and emotional meltdowns have finally taught Lopez how to turn his intensity into a weapon.
Aggression instead of letting it control him.
Because I feel like Teo got to go in his bag and pull something out he's never used, which is be over-aggressive, be nasty, but still be Teo. You know what I mean? I'm saying that because I never seen Teo just get ruthless. And I think that's what he has to do against the Shakur. You know what I mean? If he get ruthless, you know what I'm saying? If he get ruthless, I think this is a great fight.
Trainer Greg Hackett put it
The game plan is clear. Teofimo needs to dig deep and unleash something he's kept hidden. Be aggressive, be ruthless, but stay true to himself. That phrase, stay true, holds all the power. His trainer isn't asking for reckless abandon, he's demanding controlled violence. The type of relentless pressure that breaks opponents down without destroying his own game plan. People close to the situation describe a Lopez who's become quieter, more calculated, and completely immune to outside distractions. He's first to arrive, last to leave, and keeping media attention to a minimum. For the first time in forever, Lopez isn't fighting to prove anyone wrong. He's fighting from a place of clarity. This preparation isn't about settling scores or silencing critics. It's about finding that razor's edge between killer instinct and tactical discipline, discovering that sweet spot where supreme confidence meets ice-cold composure. And finding that balance could be the key to solving the Shakur Stevenson riddle. Every single exercise in Lopez's facility serves one purpose: decode Shakur Stevenson's defensive matrix. Stevenson isn't just slippery, he's one of the most defensively brilliant fighters this generation has produced. His movement, his positioning, his supernatural ability to make world-class fighters whiff by millimeters. This is what Lopez dissects every single day. His trainer Rob puts it in perspective. Shakur's defensive awareness and ring intelligence are elite level. He capitalizes on mistakes. He controls distance like a master. Lopez's entire team has constructed their preparation around this reality: accuracy over raw power. They've brought in training partners who can mirror Shakur's style, forcing Teofimo to corner opponents rather than chase shadows.
In box circles around Teo, we don't know. But definitely with the athleticism edge, I'm going to give it slightly over to Teo. But, you know, not saying that Teo doesn't have a good IQ. I just think Shakur's IQ is very, like, I know people know that he's a smart fighter, right? But I think that when we talk about fighters throughout these eras, he's not really mentioned in these things because of the opposition who he.
The emphasis shifts to patience over aggression. Mastering the art of stepping in with calculated intent, managing distance, and creating exchanges on his timeline, camp insiders reveal Lopez has been drilling feints, compact defensive adjustments, and small, economical footwork changes, a stylistic evolution that might help him break Shakur's flow. They're making every square inch of ring real estate count. When Lopez moves forward, it carries meaning and purpose. Yet despite all this meticulous preparation, one wildcard factor hangs over this entire matchup: Teofimo's own unpredictability. Because regardless of how perfect the strategy looks, everything depends on which version of Lopez walks through those ropes when it matters most.
But he does have some great IQ, and from a coach's standpoint, I get to see how he does certain things, why he does certain things. I'm like, that's smart. You know, and he capitalizes. He got good range control. So it's going to be interesting for sure.
Almost no fighters in the sport are as inconsistent as Teofimo Lopez. On certain nights, he appears absolutely unstoppable, explosive, supremely confident, and completely lethal. On other nights, he seems lost, hunting for timing that never materializes. This duality makes him both electrifying and nerve-wracking to watch.
But I think that Teo got a chance to buzz or hurt Shakur. Got speed, he explosive, but sometimes it's all based off athleticism with Teofimo versus like the basics. Shakur got better basic fundamentals to where he can have his style, he can have his style together even on a, because the way he fight it ain't all that extra stuff.
Former champion Mickey Bay captured it perfectly. Teofimo runs hot and cold. Nobody knows which fighter is going to show up. But if Shakur has an off night, even slightly, Teofimo can steal victory. That's the ultimate risk. When Lopez finds his zone, his combination of speed and power can overwhelm virtually any opponent. But if doubt creeps in, even briefly, Shakur Stevenson will dissect every weakness with clinical precision. It's pure theater in motion. Lopez's explosive bursts colliding with Shakur's calculated patience.
So to me, Teo a little extra with his fight, with his style. So if he kind of leap in with a lot of punches, with speed, explosive. But to me, Shakur more settled in with his style. He know who he is. Like, he know how he gonna fight. And he know that it's gonna go, in his mind, he looking forward to go 12 rounds.
Everyone in the camp understands the room for error is microscopic. That's why each training session gets treated like a title fight. Maximum intensity, zero compromise, every second maximized. Because one sloppy combination, one positioning mistake, one instant of hesitation might separate triumph from devastation. Throughout the Lopez camp, every aspect of his game is getting rebuilt from scratch. The era of wild charges and telegraphed power shots is finished. This version of Teofimo is being molded to fight with surgical precision, shorter steps, sharper angles, more efficient combinations. Coach Greg Hackett's instructions bounce off the gym walls, teaching him to stalk like a predator rather than brawl like a street fighter. Move in smaller increments, close distance gradually, prioritize speed over one massive shot. That single instruction captures everything.
Has practically become the camp's mantra.
Saying is, when you're tracking a guy down and getting out of the habit of loading up one shot, that means you got to take smaller steps and put smaller shots together. You know what I'm saying? So, in a sense where Teo like to jump, you got to stop that jumping. You know what I mean? Take smaller steps, inching behind smaller jabs, smaller right hands. Be a little bit more quicker. And try to keep it at a minimum of like 4 punches.
They've built entire sparring sessions around.
The drills force Teofimo to advance, pivot, and retreat within tight spaces. This isn't about hunting knockouts. This is about real estate control, making Shakur respond to his rhythm. People watching these sessions describe how Teofimo now analyzes sparring rounds like strategic puzzles. Every jab becomes information gathering, every feint a diagnostic test, every counter a valuable lesson. He's developing pattern recognition skills, learning to set traps instead of overextending. This represents the evolved Teofimo Lopez, still carrying dynamite in both fists, but now understanding the perfect timing to detonate. His team believes blending explosive ability with ring intelligence can disrupt Shakur's defensive schemes, that delicate balance between devastating power and tactical patience that separates great champions from everyone else. However, even with these sharpened weapons, boxing isn't only about precision, it's about lasting 12 hard rounds. Because when exhaustion takes over, even genius starts to fade. All fighters claim superior conditioning, but inside Lopez's camp, it's become their obsession. The team recognizes what's on the line. If this fight goes deep into championship rounds, Shakur Stevenson's endurance could determine the winner. Former champion Mickey Bay stated it bluntly, Shakur could take over in the final 4 rounds. His conditioning is superior. That reality has become their driving force. Lopez's conditioning team has reconstructed his entire training schedule to simulate the brutality of a 12-round championship war. Extended sparring with minimal recovery time, late-night road work in Vegas desert heat, and precisely timed recovery protocols. They've implemented specialized late-round sequences, punishing finishers after complete sparring sessions to train his body to stay explosive when everything wants to quit. His coaching staff monitors heart rate patterns, breathing efficiency, and lactic acid accumulation, making sure Lopez can recover between rounds without losing his explosive edge. It's endurance warfare disguised as fight preparation, because when those arena lights get hot and the pace shifts into tactical exchanges, whoever has more left in reserve usually writes the final chapter. Still, nobody in this gym thinks cardio alone decides fights. endurance is merely the foundation. Execution is what counts. Because this matchup isn't simply about who lasts longer, it's mental combat disguised as physical warfare. And the more intelligent fighter might be who survives when everything falls apart. Looking at this fight on paper reveals a fascinating study in opposites. Raw athleticism against pure intelligence, explosive fire against calculated ice, high-risk aggression against controlled precision. Teofimo Lopez fights like a thunderstorm, completely unpredictable, instantaneous, and absolutely crushing when it connects. His corner believes that explosive unpredictability can shatter any defensive rhythm, even Shakur Stevenson's seemingly impenetrable guard. They're gambling on movement, raw speed, and controlled chaos. A hurricane that even the most composed tactician can't completely prepare for. Shakur's side, meanwhile, puts their faith in mathematical precision. They're convinced that regardless of how explosive or powerful Teofimo appears, Shakur's technical mastery will neutralize everything. His defense isn't just about dodging punches, it's about planting seeds of doubt in opponents' minds. One whiffed shot, one tiny mistake, and he owns the entire rhythm of combat. What makes this collision so captivating is everything hanging in the balance. For Teofimo, this transcends just another marquee opponent. This represents his shot at complete redemption. A performance that could silence every critic and rewrite his entire story. For Shakur, it's about defending a reputation constructed on composure, technical brilliance, and virtually flawless execution. Two completely different philosophies now meet in the same squared circle, and the result could completely transform modern boxing's power structure. Because when all the promotional noise dies down, only one man exits that ring with his legacy enhanced. So who really has the upper hand here? In one corner, you've got Teofimo Lopez, the athletic marvel, explosive, completely unpredictable, capable of producing magic at any second. In the opposite corner, Shakur Stevenson, the chess master, calm, calculated, and laser-focused when pressure mounts. Teofimo might own the physical advantages, Shakur might control the mental battlefield, but boxing's greatest lessons teach us that fights aren't decided by reputations, they're decided by critical moments, and this war will be won by whoever capitalizes on those moments fastest. Throughout this training camp, Teofimo Lopez isn't chasing social media buzz or knockout compilations, he's chasing complete evolution, becoming the version of himself that can finally blend devastating power with tactical patience. Because if everything clicks, if he shows up mentally locked and physically fearless, the entire landscape shifts. His legacy, his career trajectory, his place in boxing history. When that opening bell sounds, this won't just be about championship belts or bragging rights, this will be about fundamental identity, explosive fire against calculated formula. The only remaining question is, can Teofimo Lopez maintain his sharpness long enough to outthink boxing's smartest young fighter? Drop your predictions in the comments section. For the latest breaking news, exclusive moments, events, and behind-the-scenes action in boxing, smash that subscribe button on knockout updates and hit notifications so you never miss our premium content. Don't forget to browse our other breakdowns. Catch you in the next one.